for giving me this hour. I'm wanting to ask you some advice.
Leeds Creative Timebank is both a model and a platform for a non-cash economy for the arts and cultural sector.
That sounds great. That's the sort of thing that I'm really looking for.
It's a way of kind of formalising the favour and the gift economy that exists within the arts community in Leeds.
Right, okay, really interesting.
That can involve architects or visual artists, performers, graphic designers, and maybe social activists, people that associate themselves with that cultural and creative sector.
We found that the Leeds Creative Timebank is creating a more social economy and an alternative economy for transaction with many benefits.
It aims to support creative activity through difficult times, but not as a quick fix, but as a radical alternative.
We're not suggesting that this is volunteering as such. This is a different system of trading that brings additional benefits. It opens up a whole new set of opportunities that sit outside of financial transactions.
So this is a fantastic opportunity for me in that way.
A couple of years ago, myself and a colleague got together, particularly concerned about some of the issues arising under the broad umbrella of the triple crunch, which was like peak everything, and brought people together, the sector together, within a series of very open workshops where we looked at agendas that people felt that they wanted to ascribe to. And one of those was the non-cash economy.
And so this idea of a complementary currency cropped up, and Timebank was mentioned. Time banking as a thing has come from a community focus. And nationwide there's 220,000 Timebank members. So Leeds Creative Timebank really came out of that adaptation of the community focused model and seeing if it could be applied to the creative sector.
The cash economy is often related to land and the value of land and building and physical assets. What the Timebank does is start to create a different landscape, a landscape of the social. And what emerges out of the Timebank is real benefits about the enhancement of the social value of the network. And this is where we feel it has a real potential.
Most of the stuff that we've done has been printed in Leeds, so we use foot printers, but if it's kind of like a bigger job or something a bit more extravagant, they'll sort of farm it out.
The Timebank is different in that it values everybody's time equally. So 1 hour of my time is the same as 1 hour of an investor's time. It's sort of a great equaliser in a way.
You do someone a favour for an hour and in return someone else will do you a favour for an hour. So it works on these kind of time credits, which is why it's called a time bank.
The community of the Timebank is all kinds of creative people. So that can be architects or graphic designers or social activists, and so the skills reflect that. It's a very diverse and broad range of skills.
We've listed a range of skills that we perceive the sector has, and people can go onto a list, it's on the website, and identify themselves and their own competencies against those. Or they might define a project that they want to run where they're looking to purchase hours from other people.
You'd come and meet with me, and we'd have a little talk about what sorts of things you do, what your interests are, and sort of what your availability is.
There's a lot of favour doing between sort of different practitioners in Leeds, and really the Timebank just opens out those kind of exchanges to a much wider group.
So Gary, I've come to you to talk about this art project, which is a drawing project in a house in Saltaire.
So it goes from one person to the next. These time credits are instantly transferable to any of the skills and knowledge that we can offer through the Timebank.
I'm looking to find some community groups who work with young people who might be interested in me coming in and doing a consultation process with those young people around design of public space. Being a member of the Timebank meant that I could access some information that I just would have been impossible to get hold of otherwise.
Definitely feel like it's a two-way exchange of skills and also just sort of opportunity to kind of network and meet other people.
It's that sort of formalising of the informal that makes it a very interesting proposition in terms of its addressing something that probably wouldn't otherwise quite happen.
There's a whole range of network of exchange, forwards and backwards, that I can see over the next couple of years I shall probably use several times.
One of the things that's worked really well with the Leeds Creative Time Bank was Michael organising certain kinds of social events.
One of the ways that we introduced people to each other was by doing a speed dating event. We gave people 3 minutes to very quickly talk about what skills and knowledge they were willing to provide through the Time Bank. And even people that sort of knew each other quite well, or they thought they did, learned something new about that person, about what sorts of work they could do, or what sorts of knowledge they had and were willing to provide.
It's also helped us review some of the protocol, what's working, what isn't working very well, and they're just good fun actually.
There's a big mind shift in thinking about how the Time Bank can be useful to you, and I think those sorts of events, very quickly the penny can drop and that mindset can just change very quickly, and people can see, oh, actually it has lots of applications.
Artists are using each other to reposition their practice. This has been seen to be incredibly beneficial at this particular time when people are having to open up practices, rethink their particular stance on their work.
The future for the Leeds Creative Time Bank is hopefully very bright. We're looking at how it will become completely self-sufficient and hopefully expanding it and getting more people who would like to experiment with new ways of exchanging skills with each other involved.
I think it's transferable to other cities or other artistic communities, and also it has the ability to partner up and to plug in to other networks or other time banks at a community level, but also at an international level.
It's a good idea, and there's not many reasons that I can see why it wouldn't work. So it should work, and it's I think it'd be a lot of benefit to individuals, to organisations, and to the environments and the places in which it happens.
There are a whole other bunch of skills that an artist might be using, such as problem solving, thinking out of the box.
Exchanges at this kind of human level rather than kind of in a really abstract monetary way has really huge implications for the way we interact as a sort of society. Something like a time bank where you're dealing in a completely different type of value system changes the way that you think about yourself, and that opens up different possibilities as well.
People understand it quite quickly in terms of its potential benefits. I suppose for us is how we make it work really effectively, and how we get people to make it part of their everyday transactions. Once we can do that, we can really start to use it to mobilise in a very different way.
I asked James to help me set up my exhibition, so he's lending me some time with his technical skills. Thank you very much, James.
My pleasure. I asked Bridie for 2 hours of sharing her expertise on Photoshop.
I asked Sarah for an hour of her time because she has lots of experience of managing creative projects in schools.
I asked Jonathan for his advice as an architect.
I asked Gary for advice about an art drawing project that I'm involved with.
I needed some advice on publication, and I'm asking Anne.